Provo, Utah. This is the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Kaleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
How many fuck-ups are you going to have? Hey, at least I'm not responsible for the outcome of this election. Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. I am your host, Kaleb Schweiss.
Your host who keeps on like fucking with shit and letting System of a Down songs play in the background of our intro and made the camera just fall a second ago.
I don't know what camera you're talking about. This is a podcast. This is an audio performance.
It's true, but we do stream the episodes live on Twitch.
We do.
What's your name?
I already introduced myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did I introduce myself?
No, you didn't.
Okay, I'm Joe.
And I'm your guest host, Kaleb Craig.
And today we're going to be talking about a special episode. Who was that? Barrett, I believe?
Episode Barrett. On the way to a smile, episode Barrett.
Yes. We finally watched that. I think we've got like two more of these episode blah, blah, blahs left. I might be wrong about that, though, because I know we've done Denzel, we've done Tifa, we've done Cloud, and I feel like there's a Yuffie one, and I'm not sure what goes beyond that. I haven't delved super deep into these.
There's 20 of them.
There may very well be.
That's all we need.
Yeah, so look forward to those, and there are a bunch of other things that we are meaning to get to with this show. There's the Final Fantasy X content, the little book in between 10 and 10.2 or 10.2 and whatever the fuck
10,
else.
2.5, and then, there's an audio drama.
Yeah, we're planning on getting to all of that. We're going to be doing this show for God
Forever.
knows how long.
Yep, that's pretty much how it's...
And as you know, we are a lumbering giant when it comes to playing the games, and we have weeks in between, so we got plenty of time to get to all of this content.
Schweiss, I completely disagree.
About the lumbering giant?
About the lumbering giant thing, because when you look at other podcasts that also play games between their episodes, we're doing good.
Yeah.
We're much faster than most.
Well, you have to realize, though, I don't want to put us in the
Considering we have two shows that also have
that doesn't
reviews coming out.
That doesn't
Constantly.
matter to Ultima audience members.
It doesn't matter to Ultima audience members, but a lot of our episodes...
I feel like we should be held to a higher standard, though. I mean, sure, we may be better than everyone else, but are we as good as we can be? I don't think so.
I guess
Can
not.
always improve.
I guess there's always room for improvement. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
so, but going along with that we were going to get to all the stuff. We had a question on the forums that was about the Final Fantasy X stuff, and we are going to hit it up.
We do, but we're trying to get to other things sort of in order.
Yeah, kind of, the weird order that we do have for the show. We're trying to get the 7 stuff taken care of, and then if there's anything with 8 that we don't know about, we'll do that, then 9, then the 10 stuff. So that's kind of what we're planning on right now. But
I do believe there was a novelization or like a comic book or something based on Final Fantasy II. And if anybody wants to find more information on that, I was having a real hard time trying to find more information on that, at least in English language sources.
okay.
So if anybody knows how to get a hold of that or if there's a translation available, please let me know on that subject. Schweiss, we should probably tell them where they can find us if they've never listened to the show before. It's ultimafinalfantasy.com. It's where you go for everything. You can join our forums there and join the conversation. You can go to twitch.tv/ultimafinalfantasy. See us record the episodes live and uncensored. Have you ever wondered what happens between that time? When the music starts playing after the news segment, you ever wonder what happens?
Yeah.
You can find out by going to twitch.tv/ultimafinalfantasy.
And if you're too much of a lazy bum to wake up at 11 Mountain Standard Time to see us live, you can catch them later at youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy with all of our Let's Plays, our commentaries. You can watch the show because YouTube doesn't care, apparently. You can catch us doing all of that fun stuff there. And unfortunately, with Revenant Wings, the game we're playing now, there's not live streams for the gaming, but there generally will be if a stream is available with the game. So
there's also facebook.com/Ultimate Final Fantasy, where we always reply over there. And you can tweet me at Joseph DeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Bob.
Me at UFF
Get
Podcast.
out of here, motherfucker. All right.
Well, you looked at me, so I
know, this is
assumed
the
that you
normal
wanted me
nude
to-
clan order is
Yeah.
to go clockwise
Yeah,
towards
so
you.
I just figured you wanted me to plug
Might as well.
myself. So
Plus, honestly, regardless of where he looks in the room, there's a 50% chance that you'll be there. So
probably. So
yeah.
On top of that, guys, we do have other shows you can check out. Nude Clan, the Godzilla podcast, and Super Sexy Swaying Fanfiction, which is his own show now, if you haven't heard. Schweiss. Actually, well, Craig, have you been playing any Final Fantasies recently?
yeah, I beat World of Final Fantasy.
How was it?
Just a few days ago.
How was it?
It was okay. It was
Just okay, huh?
The characters really are upsetting. But other than that, the story is
What do you
okay.
mean by upsetting?
Were you triggered? Is that
Yes, that was the word I would use.
Don't use that word.
No, that's
God.
terrible. But no, like the characters were kind of annoying. Every time that it took itself seriously, the characters like acted in any kind of way serious. It was fine. It was actually pretty good. But then they ruin it 2 seconds later with some retarded moment where they just have some weird off-color joke that's like, well, not really off-color, but something that's like really dumb. Something you would joke about, Joe.
Fuck you.
But yeah, it's just really, they tried too hard to make one character kind of like the moron character, another one the straight person, you know, like the funny guy and the straight man in the comedy routine.
What are you saying? The funny guy's gay? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, fuck you.
Well,
But
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's too much. They tried too hard in that way to make it like that, and the game suffers for that. But other than that, the gameplay is pretty entertaining. The story is pretty good. Some of the other characters you meet are pretty sweet, but the main trio is just pretty bad. It's really bad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Ultimate listeners hate you now. So
Well,
Every time you say something negative, you lose a listener. That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
other than that, it was good. I mean, it was relatively short for what I thought it was going to be. It was around 25 hours to just beat the main story. But there is, like, I guess, the true ending after you beat the game and, like, the post game stuff. So I'm going to be trying to go for that for this week.
cool.
Sweet.
Well, where are you in Revenant Wings, Joe?
I am
The official game.
in the same place I was last week because I am stuck in the level that I'm at.
What level is it?
It's the Belias fight at the end of chapter 4.
Oh.
Belias,
And
huh?
It's not so much the fight itself because I can't quite get there. I'm dying before I get there. I'm just being overrun by bad guys, and it's just a pain.
Yeah.
It's a pain.
And how many hours
I've been
have
playing
you-
the game. I've been playing every level, and I've been getting all the treasure chests.
Okay.
So I guess I have to play the extra quests.
Well, you're going to come to a point in the game where basically everything you've done doesn't matter. It's not that it goes away, but there's a level at the end of chapter 9 that is the most difficult thing I've probably done in a long time. It's sick. It is absolutely disgusting. Now, there is a tactic to use that you can get through it relatively easy that I found. But it took me a while to break down and finally just use the web and find some guide or something. And everyone hates this level, and there's a good tactic for it. And it doesn't really involve grinding. So I kind of feel like you might be able to get away with not doing a whole lot of extra stuff, but I don't know. I didn't not do extra stuff, so I didn't have any problems with the Belias fight. I don't even think I lost. There's a bunch of fights I will lose. Like, this game has defeated me many times. It's just like a game where you lose a few times and then you get through. Because you need to figure out the motions, what everyone's going to do, where to take your army, where to attack, at what point, and it's all about maneuvering.
They all follow a pattern.
Kinda, but the pattern is random though. Sometimes they do certain things and then other times they won't. So
You know what's always bugging me?
What's that?
What's been killing me is there's the one guy who revives at the moment. I don't know
Yeah.
if it gets any better, but
Lloyd?
there's the one guy who revives. But if I try to get him away from the battle, he'll ignore me. I'll fucking click on him while he's fighting someone and be like, "Go back, motherfucker, go back," and he won't do it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed at the game.
Do you have a gambit set up for him to do a certain thing? Because the gambits can override you sometimes. I would look at that.
The gambit is revive. That's what he's set to.
Well,
so
that's
he
okay.
should revive. But he'll just attack. They'll all do that. They'll just be attacking. Now if there's it seems like if there's enough people attacking, like they won't go away. But if there's a guy attacking him and he's attacking a guy, he will not move.
Really? I've not run into that. I've run into problems if I'm trying to move them to an area and they get intercepted. They'll start fighting. But I haven't run into that particular
No, I was pissed because
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
clicking and he was selected and then the boots were selected away from him and he wasn't going.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty pissed at the game too. There's some real challenge, and sometimes the controls are just not intuitive with this Revenant Wings. But
There's no select all function, which would have saved the game.
yeah, it would have made it a lot easier, a
Yeah.
lot better to manage. But
Where are you in it, Schweiss?
I finished it, so I'm done.
How fucking fast did you finish that thing?
Well, let's see. We started
2 weeks?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks.
How many hours did you put in the game?
35
In 2 weeks?
Yeah,
So this was a full-time job.
it's part time. 18 hours.
Oh, yeah, 18 hours each week. You're right. Yeah.
Real loose with that full time status, aren't you?
It's over 30. Then they have to provide you with health insurance.
Yeah, so no health insurance from Revenant Wings, the Revenant plan, where I get revive and haste cast on me automatically. No, I finished it up, and I'm actually trying to grind out to 100% the game.
I guess you got time now.
Yeah, I do.
We're not. Our next game is going to be FF15.
Yeah. So I've got a bit of
Soon.
time. I don't have to start a new Final Fantasy for a few weeks. It's weird, but I've reached a point in the extra missions that it's sick. Like I can't compete against these guys. I'm fighting dudes that are level 95, I think, and my guys are level 54, and they just keep coming. Like there's a wave of them that starts off, and I fight that wave back, and I can kill them. But then I start getting pincered from the left and the right side, so I just get overwhelmed. I can't kill any one of these parties in time to move quick enough to not trigger the other party to move towards me. So I'm doing this extra dungeon that's like it's got Yaizamat at the end. I can't get to Yaizamat though because I get wrecked by the one with Ifrit on it. There's like it's a weird dungeon. It's got a bunch of floors on it, and at the end there's a Yaizamat fight. But I can't get to him, so I don't even want to know how hard he is. But it's a good area to get really quick XP, and I'm just kind of going in there, dying, reloading, going in, dying, and then...
Do you get more XP by living?
Yeah, you do,
Okay.
but I can die in this thing in a minute and a half. So I can get 12,000 XP in a minute and a half, which is quick. Now, the problem is it takes me 145,000 to level up right now, so I have to do this like 12, 13 times. And it's getting kind of sick, the grinding. So I don't know how 100% status, if that's going to work for me.
I would go online and see if there's a level guide.
The one I've seen is using the level I'm using now, but it's just doing the first one over again and like leaving. So if you leave while you're on the third floor, you got to start back at the first floor, and if you complete the first floor, you get 50,000. And I might be able to get that one done in a reasonable enough time frame that it makes it more worth it than the 12K for the current one. So I don't know. I'll try that out. But yeah, I finished it up last night. Final boss, pretty cool. It was a fun game. It's very different. It's bizarre. And there is that level, man, that 9.2 or 9.4 level, whichever one the last one is in Chapter 9. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, just... The amount of damage that this enemy brings out is sick, and it's not counterable. You can't do anything about it. And there was another extra mission that I had to fight each of the summons, and this one was really sick too. This one I spent about 2 hours on, and in the end, you kill like 4 dudes, and then Bahamut comes down, and he's just coming for you immediately. He's just walking, and he's taking his time because they're lumbering and slow in this game, so you can get away. But what I ended up doing was getting away and running to a summon pad, summoning on the next pad to me, and then running over to that one, getting all those guys to go throw their lives away while I move to a third summon pad, summon a shitload there, and throw away more lives. And basically, I'm just throwing away my ethical values of my own person. I think I'm being too much of a Kant. I'm being a Kant.
Yeah.
I'm treating them as...
Kaleb is a royal Kant.
It's true, yeah. Don't be a Kant when you're playing this game. Don't treat people as ends in themselves. They are a means to an end. These summons in this game are a means to an end. So that's my problem. That's why I've run into so many issues. I'm being too much of a Kant to succeed in Revenant Wings. So,
right.
But now I am Kant no more. All right, and I will throw away everything to get this.
It up anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. I have adapted to the game's needs. So.
Oh, I was kind of pissed this morning when you told me you beat the game. I was like, God, dude, what the fuck? We have almost a month left on this thing.
I know. Well, it was a situation where we got Nude Clan games that we're playing too, and I want to kind of keep up on the games even that I'm not assigned, just to experience them with you guys and to disagree.
And to have the number on the Nude Clan.
And to have the hog number, yeah. So I kind of decided that, you know what, I'm close to Revenant Wings. I can always do the extra stuff afterwards, and I might as well just finish it up so I can move on to something else while I'm waiting for 15 to come out. So that's what I did. But I've been playing it a lot, and it's nice, and it almost makes me wish I would have made the unwise to me decision to buy a Vita and buy World of Final Fantasy on that Vita because of how easy it is to play a mobile game. Because you can still play it on your couch, but then you can play it everywhere else too. So I had so much more time to hit this thing up, and I think that's just the biggest reason why I got it done so fast.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Schweiss. I think we forgot one more plug, actually.
Was it the Patreon?
It's Patreon, yeah.
We do owe some episodes.
We do.
Hit us up, guys, and we're going to be sending off a nice mug to one of our donors from last month. A mug, some bumper stickers, got some goodies coming your way.
Sweet.
You guys can support us there, patreon.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. $1 a month gets you the episodes as soon as we're done mixing and extra content. And the Amazon link on our site. If you guys use that to do your Christmas shopping, we would greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps, and it doesn't cost you a penny.
And there's PayPal, which does cost you a penny.
It does, yeah. Well, yes.
But we get that penny.
Yeah, we do.
So we appreciate it.
Yes.
Schweiss, we got some news, right?
We do. We got plenty of news this week.
Let's get to it.
News. Oh, boy. So this week in news, Mobius Final Fantasy announced a PC version. It's going to launch in Japan.
Yeah, we got that news already, but it's on November 1st, it looks like. We got it.
It is.
All right.
Yep.
That's awesome. Is it going to be a download, I assume?
Let me see. Oh, it's going to have 4K support, 1920 by 1080 res.
That's cool.
It's going to be good looking. It's let me see.
That's the mobile game, right?
Yeah, it's the one that they had as a mobile game. I don't see any sort of platform for it, but
yeah, we talked about that last time.
Yeah, now there's the release date. So if you guys are in Japan, if you're the 5 people that listen to us in Japan, hit that up. We also have another new announcement here. Final Fantasy Dimensions 2 has been announced for smartphones. And there is a teaser trailer, but it's a mobile game. I mean, do we even want to indulge here?
We'll watch it. It's a teaser. It should be short.
All right. Final Fantasy. A bunch of Japanese.
Hito something. Kami. Q something.
pretend like you know what that says.
I don't know what it says. I can just read
Final
some of
Fantasy
it.
Legends. This isn't much of a teaser. Oh my god, it's deafening me.
Something. There was no gameplay in this teaser whatsoever.
Yeah, just a little bit of artwork.
The logo's pretty cool looking, though.
Oh, there's a crystal.
Artwork, logos, and some words.
Floaty words.
Nice soundtrack. Very techno-y Final Fantasy thing.
iPhone. Android.
And someday PC.
So, you know what? They put that in English, but they wouldn't put the rest in there? Come on.
I don't know what's
Come on. All right, Mobius Final Fantasy is celebrating 8 million registered users.
You think it'll go
Holy
up?
crap.
I don't know. So they're holding a special event in the game it's an 8,888,888 event to celebrate this hallmark. So if you play Mobius, make sure to log in and participate in that event. I do not. I downloaded it and still have not opened it. So
Yep. Sounds about right.
yeah, I believe you did the same, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, it did.
Yeah, so this is fun. Square Enix is thinking about adding a playable Luna or another heroine to Final Fantasy XV via DLC. That's why I had that. And then I pressed something on my keyboard that played. I bumped the play button that
Oh, God.
that launched us into that madness that was the song.
How about the madness that is this fucking buzz that I'm hearing in my head?
I don't know what buzz you're talking about, buddy. I only hear cat groove.
Okay.
So I don't know about all this DLC stuff that they're doing. I mean, this one at least is going to be allowing us to play as what was a non-playable character. So I mean, in that
Possibly. They're
in that
thinking about
regards,
it.
yeah, we're thinking maybe, but
Possibly. I don't know. If we say this, how many news sources are going to pick it up? And that will tell us if people want it.
yeah. And man, they're going heavy on the DLC scenarios with this game. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I guess we'll see. You know, we'll see when we actually get to the game and see how long it is.
November 29th.
Yeah,
This is our first episode of November. We're in the month, dude.
It's true. I feel the hype, especially after last week's trailer. That thing was amazing.
The Omen trailer.
Or
Yeah.
you just don't have a Final Fantasy to play right now. I think that's why you're feeling the hype.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're itching.
I can grind like mad in 12 Revenant Wings, but
Yeah, that's a good point.
so Hajime Tabata says he would like to make games for the Nintendo Switch. It seems like an extremely useless article. He says he's very interested in this machine as a player, but also as a developer. The Nintendo Switch that you can transform into a controller, that you can put into a dock, that you can move around with, on which you can replace elements. It's been a while.
And if you
around
order
with the
now,
dock.
you'll get the...
Yeah. It's been a while that I've told myself that I would like to make games on a Nintendo machine, so if the Nintendo Switch could be that opportunity, he'd be delighted.
I would be delighted for a Nintendo console that can play modern games.
Yeah.
That's what we got. We got a comment on, I think, one of the Nude Clan episodes. They hated what I said about everything, but
Really?
when we were talking about how we
For a
were
reason.
underwhelmed by the fact that Skyrim, a game that is a last generation game that
And 5 years old.
5 years old, that was the thing that was hyping up this new console, that wow, this console's cool, and also Skyrim.
Yeah.
And to me it's like, I know Skyrim is like a big game and it's a great game apparently and everybody loves it, but to me it doesn't show any technical prowess.
No,
I think
so
one of
why
the reasons
have
it was in the trailer was because it was being remastered, and that may be a reason for
But this isn't a
And
remastered
because-
version.
it. It might be.
This
we
is
don't
probably a PS3 version of it.
know. Maybe.
Come on.
But then again, having a game like Elder Scrolls be available for a mobile is kind of impressive.
Not saying it's
and
not.
something that people would want, but I don't know about it being like the key.
Final Fantasy
thing
13
there.
is on mobile phones in Japan.
Yeah, mobile phones, Caleb.
I don't know.
So I can't
How
say
would that even work?
This. This has 13, but the Switch is going to have Skyrim.
I don't even know how to respond to that because I don't know how 13 would work on a phone.
It does apparently.
Yeah, it works.
So,
it streams.
I
Does it
am
look like
not.
shit?
If it were a current gen game, like if the Nintendo Switch was playing Doom 2016 on it, then I would be all over that shit.
Yeah.
As like, wow, it can play Doom 20. That's impressive for Nintendo. That is to be.
Well, they played Doom before.
To be technically with everybody else. That's incredible for Nintendo. Like, I'd be excited for that.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, look, Nintendo shows, once again, they're a generation behind by being able to play a game that came out 5 years ago.
I really do think that the reason that they showed it is because at the time that they released it, Skyrim Remaster had just barely come out or was coming out.
Yeah,
So
I know about the Skyrim Remaster.
That's, I think, the reason that they chose that, but that's kind of weird that they put that one as like a front runner to even their own Legend of Zelda game, which they featured later in the trailer, which was like, okay.
But regardless of that, 15 I can't see coming to this thing. I mean, maybe some other situations similar to the Skyrim thing where they re-release older Final Fantasies that Nintendo was kind of gypped out of. Other than that, I don't know.
I am excited about the Switch because I want to see what it can be, but I just hope that it plays modern games. Jesus Christ. Can Nintendo please just get a fucking clue?
Well, I mean, the Wii wasn't able to do that, and the Wii was the biggest thing ever at that time.
Well,
that's
they had
true.
some
but the Wii
stuff on there.
The Wii, once again, we talked about this on Nude Clan. The Wii had a gimmick, and this has a gimmick too. But
well, so did the Wii U with
the
their
Wii U.
massive
No,
controller
the Wii U is
screen.
not a gimmick. The Wii U just put together things we already had.
Yeah, it was badly marketed, but doesn't have shit to do with Final Fantasy.
Well, if we get a Final Fantasy on it, I would like a modern Final Fantasy on it, like Final Fantasy XVI. If it could be on all three leading systems, like it would have been 2 generations ago with the GameCube, the original Xbox, and then the PS2.
Yeah.
You know, a really good generation where they could have third-party developers develop games for all 3 systems that work just fine.
Is there a game that's on all 3? Like a big game?
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
It's not
yeah.
on Xbox.
It is not?
No. It's
No,
not.
yep, he's right. I wasn't on there.
Oh. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Those are different, though. They're different versions.
Was
I think.
Battlefront 2 on GameCube?
Oh, you know what? I think it might have been. There we go. Star Wars Battlefront
Yeah, but
2.
they could all technically play all the
yeah.
same things. The hardware-wise, I believe the processors on the Xbox and the GameCube were ahead of the PS2, but everything was...
Yeah.
PS2 was the biggest console, so everything was kind of made for the PS2. And then
Yep. Yeah.
And then everything else was given
used
something.
it.
Yeah. Well, shoot, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why we can't go back to that. Like,
It would
why-
be cool.
What, PS4 being the main
Why is
console? and
Nintendo
then-
still trying to just stay behind? They're like, we'll get the stragglers.
I don't know, but you know what? We do get these spin-off series like Crystal Chronicles and Revenant Wings, these random games that the GameCube and the Game Boys and the DSs kind of lend themselves to. So it's not a complete loss for Final Fantasy fans as far as the Switch and other games go. So I don't know. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see more of a reason to get into these other things just for Ultima Final Fantasy, at least. Like, that's the only reason why I bought that 3DS back there. Is because of Revenant Wings.
That's true.
And the other...
Theater Rhythm and
Yes.
Final Fantasy Legends
And
or
yes,
whatever.
Caleb, yes.
Explorers is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the games. So it's a console seller because there are people out there that are like us that
That
love-
have podcasts.
Yeah, that
have
have-
to play through every single game in a
that have
series. and
this exclusive thing, this massive
there are
podcast.
people out there.
Yeah, the podcast where you're going to play every Final Fantasy and in order, in some fucked up order that you came up with. There are others somewhere, I'm sure. So we'll see what the Switch brings us. Hopefully it is a new game, even if it's just a spin-off or something. That'd be fun. Be something worth getting, and then I can play Skyrim for 5 hours somewhere else.
You can play it at all because you
Yeah.
still haven't played it.
I haven't.
You fuck.
No. I'm not going to play it on that thing first, though. I got it on my PC from you as a gift.
Yeah, still need to play it.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Bastard.
we do have to talk about this episode, Barrett.
Let's get to that.
All right.
Hopefully these guys are sick.
He is pretty sick.
He is pretty sick.
It had been several months since that day. The chosen day. After helping Tifa and Cloud build their home, Barrett entrusted his best friend Diane's orphaned daughter Marlene to the two of them and embarked on a journey. It was a journey to settle the sins of his past.
Okay, so this episode starts out, essentially Barrett is seeing a world without Mako energy. It's obviously everything went south at the end of 7. Everyone's kind of been recouping. He doesn't want to wear his giant gun arm anymore either, and he meets up with Morgan
Probably
Freeman.
giving him spinal problems.
Yeah, you think so? It's like messing with him.
It's like
He leans to the
overweight.
side. Yeah. Like he hasn't been working out as much because he's not blowing shit up anymore. So he's like getting kind of soft. So it's messing up.
Well, and if you had like a extra 20 pounds on one side forever, I mean, that's gonna,
your spine's
gonna be.
He's got the scully, man. He's got the scoliosis.
Scoliosis, dude. I had when in middle school when we all got checked for scoliosis, like they brought some nurses over or something.
They told me I had it. I do
have
not have it. I don't think so. No.
Okay, I didn't have it.
I don't know. My back doesn't feel like an S.
I had no idea what the hell it was. So like for weeks, I was like, "What's scoliosis?"
I think they just wanted to look at my lower back.
Yeah, and that was a weird moment for me. But also, like, I thought scoliosis had something to do with the skull because all I heard was the word scoliosis, and I'm like, is there something wrong?
So Barrett has scoliosis, right? So he meets up with Morgan Freeman, apparently, who agrees to craft him a friendlier-looking hand because he's kind of tired of scaring people with this massive gun on his arm. But, honestly, if he was worried about scaring people, maybe he should stop just firing the fucker off at random. Like, he throws a fit. He gets mad in this thing, and whenever he gets mad, he just... Yeah, it's like, maybe the problem's not the gun arm. Maybe the problem's the fact that you're a psychopath. It wouldn't matter if you had like a wooden hand. You would just start beating the shit out of people.
So does this take place before or after Advent Children?
After. Everything's after Advent Children.
Okay, so this is after Advent Children?
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys remember how there was a conversation before on how I said that there was a scene where Barrett had a arm that was not a gun?
I think it's in between.
And then you guys gave me shit and said no, and then we later found out that I was right. So why is he looking for a arm if he already had one in Advent Children?
I think it's in between.
Is it really in between?
I think so.
I forget the order of these fuckers, man.
I think it's in between. I think episode Denzel comes out before Advent Children, and the rest of them do too. They all take place around the same time. I'm like 90% sure. I mean, we talked about this stuff before. The fuck, cat?
I don't know. I guess maybe it does. It doesn't really matter, though.
I think it comes in between.
I don't think it changes
that would also.
anything.
I mean, the reason why he has like a semi-regular arm in Advent Children, that would make sense because of this story.
Yeah, I guess. So, anyway, he agrees to craft him a friendlier hand, and Morgan Freeman says, "You know what? I got a favor for you. I need you to serve as a bodyguard for me." And he meets up with these guys. They are going on this.
Explain why you call him Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, the guy who voiced it in the
live stream,
the livestream.net's presentation of this.
Thank you, Pixel, for pointing these things out to us months ago.
Yes, thank you. This guy sounds exactly like Morgan Freeman, the voice actor who does it. It's like Joe mentioned it when he was watching it earlier. It's like a white man's impersonation of Morgan Freeman, and it is. It's a very good one.
Sounds like a white man's impersonation.
Oh, I thought it was because the character had like a shit ton of freckles.
No, you don't see anything. It's you just hear. It's like a book on tape.
Oh,
it's like a dramatized book on tape.
Yeah.
So different people are playing the different parts, and then there's also a narrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
So Barrett has some great remorse for his past deeds. Citing the first reactor as his pretty much his first major crime. And while they're on this truck and he's out doing the bodyguard work, this monster appears, and he just like blasts it to pieces, right? Because he has a gun arm, of course. And then he starts to ponder if maybe he's the monster and everything else is normal. So he's kind of losing his mind here a little bit. There's really no machinery that's in use at this point because everything was powered by Mako energy, and shit's kind of shutting down. And he goes to this potato farm, and everyone's just kind of working with their hands and making things get by without machinery, which is obviously a pain in the ass because these people have become soft over time, and they were used to the cush life of the machines running everything. So Barrett begins his need to bring back the coal industry, because as we know, he comes from a coal town, and he kind of wants to use coal again because it was the big deal before Mako. This is where he starts getting awesome with his arm attachments. He gets a hoe attachment in his arm and helps farm essentially with this arm hoe is what we'll call it. And
I'm gonna get a hoe.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me that arm hoe. He also
the red light district.
Yeah, he does work it. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to make money, right? So he also ponders being a leader again, and I thought this was kind of funny because he's like, man, we're going to need a leader to usher in the new age. Maybe that'll be me. And then I was thinking, like, yeah, maybe if you wanted to crash and burn, like, you remember the last time you tried to lead something? Everybody died. Everyone died when they tried to blow up the last reactor. They all fell to their deaths. Terrible, terrible. So he abandons that idea, and they meet up with this dude who has a daughter, and she has the geostigma, and the girl dies.
The stigma.
And this is where Barrett kind of just unloads into the sky for the first time in this thing because he's pissed. Comforts the father after death, and he starts to kind of come up with this plan to bring the sick to treatment. Now, the interesting part about this plan that he has is there's not really a cure for the geostigma. They don't really have anything at this point that's been developed. So he wants to transport people to where exactly? Like, I don't know. It seemed like an odd, half-assed plan of, like, we need an airship to move people around to get them help. But there is no help. There is no fucking help.
Have you seen Ben-Hur? Yeah. Okay. You know the part where they have all the lepers in the pit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was the end of part 1. And part 2 begins, I wrote down drill, baby, drill. So, this is where this episode, they're really starting to kind of push oil again because they were on the cusp of an outbreak for oil. They were like getting all the tech ready. Everything was going to be oil. It was going to be awesome. And then Mako Energy came in and it just blew it out of the water in efficiency and everything else. So they they had all the technology and they just kind of left it there. And he meets up with Shara, which is the wife of Sid, and she has the stigma.
The stigma.
So Barrett also goes full creeper mode in Rocket Town and tries to play with some kids, which doesn't end very well because he's a massive dude with a gun on his arm, and he gets all self-conscious about it again. And then meets up with a crewman from the Highwind who, as far as I can tell, is the same voice as a dude from the Deadwood show, JB. Very similar. So they meet up and they're kind of testing what I assume is like combustion, and something explodes. Barrett meets up with Sid, and this part I thought was really funny because Barrett had dropped an F-bomb earlier in this thing.
Yeah.
And then Sid comes up to him and he's like, oh, damn it, it'd been a while since I've seen your ass.
I think he said shit.
Yeah, maybe it was shit.
At some point, yeah.
And this is when he's like, man, he's foul as mouthed as always. And he was like taken aback by the swearing. I'm like, you
Barrett, and later on also. I think there's like 3 F words.
Earlier when he was on that train, when he was helping out Morgan Freeman.
This guy and his fucking foul mouth.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck did you say?
Took your fucking swear,
I'm like,
man.
jeez, dude. I was like, whoa,
it's
this
not like he
thing's
said
nuts.
The C word or something.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do a 1-upper.
No, he didn't. No. I think Barrett is well more foul-mouthed than Sid. I mean, Sid goes off more often, but, you know. You do what you can. So Barrett wants to work on an airship, and he tries to convince Sid to use that airship to help with the stigma sufferers, essentially. He wants to use them to transport. Barrett gets pissed off trying to figure out which things he's done that were good and which weren't. Shoots the ceiling again. He can't control it. He should not have a gun arm, okay? We should take his gun arm away from him.
They're taking our gun arms.
Yeah. So Mako Energy wasn't
Trump
being
2016.
Yeah. Mako Energy wasn't being used because people were scared shitless by the power of the life stream, which honestly I can't blame them, because the thing did literally reach itself out of the planet and destroy Meteor in the fucking sky. This thing the live stream has some sick power, right? It's capable of monstrosities, of destroying a giant meteor coming down. So naturally, people don't want to use Mako Energy because the planet gets pissed and it deploys weapons and it nukes meteors and all this bad shit. So Shinra was another big reason why Mako is not being used is because Shinra was the main controllers of it. They knew exactly what needed to be done, and they're obviously not around, so that's not helping anything out. This is where Barrett's pro-coal agenda really comes out. He is about the coal. He wants to go back to FF6, and Sid is pushing to the future, which is oil, of course, with FF8, right? You get the car. You got to put gas in the car at that one part.
You're right.
See,
You're exactly right.
Look at that. So Sid pushes to oil, which, like I said earlier, they had made a lot of advancements prior to discovering Mako Energy, and it was abandoned due to the efficiency of Mako. Barrett then returns to Morgan Freeman to receive his wooden hand, and I was hoping it was going to be a golden hand like in Game of Thrones with Jaime Lannister, but not so much. And he wants to write a letter to Marlene, right? He's like, I should probably write a letter to Marlene. I'm thinking, yeah, no shit. You should probably talk to your daughter. And then he's like, no, I'm going to write it when I get used to this wooden hand. And Morgan Freeman's character, he says, in time you should be able to even write with this thing. And I was just reminded of this clip from a Family Guy episode here.
Yeah, but practice on a hot dog first. Otherwise you might rip your dick off.
So he's got that to look forward to in his future, is the practicing with the hot dog for his new wooden hand. I was hoping it was going to be a metal hand, but unfortunately,
I was still reminded of Army of Darkness when he builds himself a new hand.
Oh yeah,
crushes the cup.
Yeah.
Groovy.
Yeah. Lots of good stuff in this episode. So overall, personally, I kind of think this one is, to me, this one is probably the best one so far.
I like the Tifa one, I think, the most.
You think so?
And when it comes to the livestream.net, I mean, I feel like I'm criticizing both of them. Well, I mean, there's the story involved, which I think is kind of, I think all of them so far have been kind of
mediocre.
As stories on their own, they're really short, and so it just kind of adds to the world, and so their purpose is served just fine. I'm not too intrigued by them, though. I mean, I just kind of listen to them and go, I don't have to listen to that again because nothing happens in any of them. They just kind of reminisce and they, think or discuss with other characters the world ahead of them. That's really what all this is about. And it's pre-Advent Children, by the way. I did look it up, and so it makes sense.
Oh, is it pre?
Yeah, it is. It is pre.
I don't remember that many people having the stigma, though. Like, did Shara have it in that movie? I don't remember her at all.
Was she in it?
I don't think she was.
Okay,
I don't think she was.
Well, what the hell? Like, what happens to her? Maybe we'll find out later, I guess.
Advent Children 2.
Oh, Jesus, don't say that.
Advent Adults.
Don't say that. Advent Adults.
Basically Advent Children 2.
Yeah, Advent. What about Advent prepubescent teen?
Oh.
and then teen, and then Advent Adult.
I was never a prepubescent teen.
Yeah.
Because I started hitting puberty at 9.
Yeah, that's I guess that's probably true for me too. For Kaleb still hasn't
Most
yet,
short
so he doesn't
fuck
understand.
Yeah, just
And still waiting there.
oh boy.
Still waiting, buddy.
Oh my god! Only the area under
I would if they had dropped.
only the
they have.
area under his chin is hit puberty.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with these things, though, I mean, it is cool to have more story. The fact, though, that I couldn't.
I guess it's worth the 40 minutes to listen to the dramatization.
It is. They do a
stream.
good job with it.
They do, and I was about to go into that, and I forgot I was going there. If I were to rate the stories, I think the Tifa one's the best, and I also think the Tifa and the Cloud ones are better performance-wise than this one was.
Yeah.
I just felt like this.
Barrett was really good in this one.
Barrett is really good. I didn't dig Morgan Freeman.
Oh, come on.
And I didn't, they were fine. I
Look,
mean,
man,
it's
I don't
better
know.
than not having them.
I don't know how they got the funding to get.
Anyway,
Morgan
I thought it was
Freeman.
cool. I think Pixel or whoever does these, they work really hard on them. It shows.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But the Tifa voice was like
Amazing.
on.
Yeah.
It was right on with the Advent Children Tifa that we're used to.
Yeah, I think I probably could have done a Sid that was maybe closer.
Yeah, the Sid was a little weak.
It was odd, but
It wasn't
I could
bad.
tell. I could tell it was supposed to be Sid though. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. But with these things,
I think he did ask us to do some voice acting, and we just didn't get back to him in time.
well, he asked
Yeah.
one of us to do some voice acting.
Which one?
I do recall.
Well, if you made the sound of,
I don't know. I can't tell if that's a smug sound or
no, that's a
pissed off and
that's a
jealous
sound of. I'm not sure where he was going with his request. Didn't know. I would have declined it anyway.
That was
is what I'm saying.
months and months ago.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have declined. Plus, look at our 11 stuff. I got some great stuff out there. The best stuff, right?
you have the best
Best
stuff, the best 11 narrative.
But the fact that the funny part about these is, though, we did look it up before, and I do remember us talking about this being in between 7 and Advent Children, but you almost can't tell. Like, does it matter where it's at?
Almost not. It
Not
almost
really.
doesn't matter.
Like, we don't know what happens after Advent Children. It just kind of ends, and then they go back to doing stuff.
I guess some people will still have the stigma. Not everybody went into the River Jordan and
pool.
was baptized.
Yeah.
the little pool.
Yeah. It's weird, and that's why these things are, they're good to view at least one time, but I don't take them nearly as seriously.
I thought it was cool, and I think the livestreams .net's presentation is very good.
No, it is, and they had to.
I did want to say that the only thing that happens in this, basically, this is the story. Okay, so Barrett used to go to a guy who gave him attachments to his arm.
Yes.
And then Barrett thinks about future energy sources. And then Barrett gets another new arm.
Yeah.
That's the story.
And then, that is kind of the story. The Sid stuff is kind of secondary to it.
Yeah.
He just gets a new hand. I was reminded of that. Oh, crap. What is that? There's like a YouTube video of a kung fu thing. And like the dude has like all these different arm attachments that he puts on. And one of them is... it's like a dildo thing, and it was hilarious to me. He like put it on when he was hanging out with his wife, and I was like, "Oh, dude!" But he had another one that was like a saw blade, and like one was like just a metal fist.
It is kind of like that.
Yeah, it does remind me of that. It's weird.
Excuse me, give me a second.
But you know what I will say? The hand in Advent Children was not wooden. I believe it was metal.
It
wasn't
was
it?
metal, yeah.
Well, what the fuck? What am I supposed to make of the story?
Why would he
Maybe
even
the
get a
wooden
wooden
one's like a
hand?
Maybe he
nicer
dipped.
one.
How would he control a wooden hand?
I don't
Dipped it
know,
in chrome.
man. Yeah, he dipped it in chrome. Yeah, baby.
All shiny and chrome.
Yeah. I don't know how you would move a wooden hand, Caleb.
I don't know either. There's no technology in that whatsoever.
We've got airships, but we got to give him a wooden hand.
Geppetto. The guy
Pure force of will.
He's Pinocchio.
Yeah, but he has to control it with like his other hand, so he's got this little string thing. Puppet head. He's like, isn't this kind of counterintuitive? It's like, no, you got your hand back.
Or he does it with his teeth and his tongue, just like
Yeah. So you gonna be all right?
Showing my face. Stupid image of that.
Yeah. And then he's getting all pissed too, and then he just tosses it and puts the gun on and just shoots into the air again. God damn it. Pull!
I think Joe might die.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
That is a pretty good image, I gotta say.
All right, we need somebody to animate that.
Yeah. Get back to us with a clip.
All right. Anyway, it was cool.
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing about the other On the Way to a Smiles.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys translated it.
They're
for
fine.
us.
It's very cool that people translate it. I will say, Pixel, now that we're here. Oh, I already asked this on this episode, didn't I? There's an FF2 novel, and there is another novel about the Turks, apparently. I don't know if that one's available from Livestream or if anybody has an English translation about that. But
Yeah, but if you know,
we got to get into those at some point.
yeah, we got lots of time for it. See, established.
We're getting there. All right. Schweiss, anything else to say about this? I mean, it's kind of a short story sort of thing.
We're going to have a link to it in the episode description if you guys want to listen to their dramatization of it. Check that out. Check out the other ones. We've reviewed 3 of them so far, and there's still a couple more if you guys want to get a head start on those. It's kind of a nice little filler. And honestly, I think it would be cool to go through them and then watch Advent Children and see if it really complements. Because as of right now, I don't really know for sure.
Well, kind of the lonely... Well, when we did the Tifa one, the Tifa and the Lonely Bar...
Yeah, that one
That's kind of what I saw at the beginning of Advent Children. I think it fits perfectly.
That one,
Barrett is, of course, off somewhere.
Yeah, he's off doing his Barrett stuff.
And he just kind of shows up in Advent Children, so this matches that. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't counter Advent Children's presence.
It's very moody. They're all very depressed and moody. We had a listener that made some comment about how freaking depressing these things are.
They are kind of sad. Like these people's lives are ruined, and
we saved the world. And what kind of a world was it after all?
They needed Bahamut to come down.
Slit their wrists.
Yeah, they needed Bahamut to come down and terrorize the city. That's the only thing that kept them sane. It's like the Batman needing Joker, right?
Batman doesn't need Joker.
He does, according to the Joker.
Needs Batman.
No. I'm taking it from the bad guy's point of view because that's what I do.
Okay.
From the bad guy's point of view,
Yeah.
then Joker would need Batman.
But he thinks that Batman needs him too.
Well, yeah,
he's insane
that because he's crazy.
Yeah, same kind of thing though. They need conflict. They need conflict, and if they don't have it, they're distracted by how shitty their lives are. As are we all.
Oh boy.
As are we all.
Okay, well, Schweiss, do we have possibly some questions?
We do.
Questions.
Some questions.
Oh God, yes.
Real quick, I had, when I was in high school or possibly junior high, a friend named Nephi burned me a disc of 22 Rammstein songs. And now I believe that this song that we're hearing is not actually a Rammstein song. We talked about that, right?
Yeah, it's not.
But a whole bunch of people think it was a Rammstein song, including myself, because you know what was on that mixed CD of Rammstein songs?
This song?
That fucking song.
From FF10, really?
Yeah. I remember when I played FF10, I was like, it's Rammstein.
Now, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. And then Oron comes out with like a giant penis thing and starts like humping Sin with it. And like they do in their shows. It'd be crazy.
I hadn't listened to Rammstein in a long time, and they're still as fucking awesome as I remember.
Yeah, they're sweet. But that is not them, unfortunately. That is
Euro.
me.
Yeah, it's definitely not them. Now that I've gotten to a point where I can tell.
Yeah, it's like
definitely not Rammstein.
This guy.
It was like we all thought that Zelda song was by System of a Down. and they didn't. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I'll bring it up in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the first question we have this week is from Shinru. He says, quick, important question. Did you know if you hold the select or start button, ... Did you know that if you have a Nintendo 3DS or any 3DS model, not DS, if you hold the select or start button while starting a Nintendo DS game, not 3DS game, you will be able to play the game in the original aspect ratio. Ooh, so the quality isn't as stretched and pixelated. Thought it would be nice to give you guys this tip since you are playing Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. And
Too late for Kaleb.
And it's a nice tip for future DS games you will play as well. I did not know that, and yes, it is too late for Kaleb. And I checked this out and saw it this morning, and I beat it last night. I did change it, though. I did do a little bit of level grinding while Joe was watching episode Barrett, and...
Is it better? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, not...
Did it matter?
Not really. It just makes the screen smaller. It is kind of what fixing the aspect ratio is, but I could do either way.
I misunderstood his instructions.
It's while the game's loading. So like after you click Revenant Wings, you hold it.
So I was trying it when it was on Revenant Wings, and I made a comment saying it totally doesn't work, and then he kept going, but I didn't try it this morning.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it works on the 2DS, which is the one I have, but either way, I don't think I want it any smaller.
You're cool with the pixely?
Yeah, I'm cool with I think it looks good.
Yeah, it looks... I mean, I don't know if I'd say it looks good, but it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It's amazing to me.
It looks like a game that was made for a slightly smaller screen.
Yeah, but it's amazing like how much newer the 3DS is than the PSP, but how much worse it looks. I still can't get over this. I'm just like baffled by how they can get away with these things over a Nintendo.
More Nintendo bashing.
Dude,
there's a reason FF left Nintendo.
Yeah, it's the graphics,
Nintendo
man.
always
it was the capacity, but yeah.
Lesser graphics.
I know, but it's like the PS years lesser.
Capacity
it's crazy.
of the discs.
But no, it's not a knock in the game at all. It doesn't matter what the graphics look like to us, obviously.
Graphics are something, but it's only based upon like it's I wouldn't, if a game came out on the PS2, I wouldn't like judge it with PS4 eyes.
Yeah, we're not judging this as if it were a PS3 game. It's a DS game, so I'm fine with the way it looks. I kind of like knowing that I can adjust the aspect ratio, and it does kind of help with accidentally clicking off of the screen, which causes some problems in this game, and it gives me a little bit more free space to deal with stuff. So
so I got this Legend of Zelda song.
Okay.
And I thought this was System of a Down for years, and then you know what? It does sound like System of a Down, and I'm going to play it for you, Schweiss, and you tell me if you can tell. Much like the FF10 thing, I thought that was Rammstein for forever.
Here come to town. Come to save the Princess Zelda. Got it broken away. Now the
I mean, it sounds pretty close to Surge, this guy's voice.
Yeah, the way he does stuff, yeah. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Of course, System would then go
yeah. Is the song under 3 minutes?
It is.
Oh, well, then I guess I probably would have thought the same.
It is like 1 minute and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that then. I could see it. I can tell it's not him, but I could see how you might not be able to tell.
Well, of course, my ears are really bad at this. I frankly thought that Bat Country, when it came out, that Avenged Sevenfold song, Bat Country, I thought it was a Disturbed song.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my god!
It just the music that was out at the time, that was the band that would play on the radio. Was in that realm, frankly. But now I look at it and I go, I don't even know how I mix those two bands up.
Yeah,
of course I didn't hear about Avenged Sevenfold. That was their first big hit. So
okay. Yeah, the guitar though, I don't think the Disturbed guy could even handle that in any way.
No, and it'd be a lot more
Yeah, it would be perfect. It would just be like exactly timed out.
Yeah.
Strange how it sounds like it was made in a studio.
Well, they all were.
with just computers though. Like he didn't even actually play. He just played.
He just played one chord.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
The computer like sampled it and then like did it.
Yeah. He just like does a little library of notes and chords, and then just goes in and like pieces them together.
He just went one note at a time, went through the whole neck of the guitar.
Yeah. It's like watching Soken when he was doing his little presentation at the FF14 Fan Fest. He's like, "Here's my tracks. Here's the 70 million tracks I have. Here's this little piece, this little piece." It's like that. He just pulls together each note, each
and then,
tuning, and
then they can ruin a perfectly good Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yes, they can. All right, so we have a cool little idea here. It's not so much a question, even though it's posted in the questions section, but I really like the idea. This one's titled FF Academy Awards. It's from Batman 2J.
Oh, Batman 2J. Oh, that's a different Batman.
I think it's the same guy.
Oh, is it the same guy?
Yeah, he brought up the glass shaving, so I knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Batman.
So he said, I thought it would be fun to create an FF Academy Awards where the forum users could pick winners for categories that correspond to actual Academy Award categories. The forum member selections could act as nominations, and Kaleb and Joe could pick the winners from the nominees.
I
think we should
would
reverse it,
that,
yeah.
but we don't play all the games that come out.
This will only be successful if enough forum members participate. Otherwise, Kaleb and Joe will need to select their own winners. The winners can be chosen for both mainline and spin-off FF games. I'm sure this will create some fun discussion. The categories are Best Picture, Game, Best Actor, Male Character, Best Actress, Female Character, Best Supporting Actor, Male NPC, Best Supporting Actress, Female NPC, Best Original Song, obviously that one's easy, Best Costume Design, the character design. He actually includes games from all over the series in this.
Oh, okay.
So it would be like a one-time Academy Award. It wouldn't be like an annual thing that we do at the end of the year.
I thought it was like tack this on to the awards thing that we do
and
every
it's like,
year.
can't, not until the last year of the show. Because that's the only time we're going to play the new games. Except for 15.
We usually have best release of the year.
Yeah, well, we know what's
other people vote on.
We know what's probably going to win that one this year.
You know what? I thought that the first year that we did it, and I was way off.
Yeah,
I remember that. It was like Theater Rhythm won, and I thought Lightning Returns was going to win because it was the big main
Lightning
game.
Returns came out the year we started this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's only been two and a half years.
God.
Is that a lot or
It seems like we've been going forever if I look at it like that. But it's only been, what, 2.5?
2.5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're like 130 episodes in or something.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is.
That's
a lot.
crazy.
157 total releases on iTunes.
Damn. So, yeah.
And
this
like
is
3 that we've deleted because they were timely and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with this, I think you guys on the forum should vote on this, and I think we can tally the votes together and see who wins. Maybe cast our own votes.
This would be a cool thing to do within that 3-month time that we just have so much time in FF15.
Yeah. I think we can tackle that. So everyone get on there, check that thread out on the forums, and cast your votes. We'll do the same and see where it goes. I mean, I do like the idea of reversing it. I think if we do this in the future, we should. But
I think we can use them as nominees and then vote everybody open to the public.
Okay, so take what's in there as the nominees and then have a poll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea. So keep up the...
Just give it a week or two. And
yeah, that'll be I'll convert this into my question from us to you, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Who do you want to win these categories? And then we'll do the poll, and then we'll have the victor.
There you go.
That's a great idea,
that sounds
guys.
awesome.
Thanks, Batman. That's solid. All right, so we have one here from Corey. It's titled Stepdad. Oh, God. Which Final Fantasy character would you choose to be your new stepdad?
Orin.
I would choose Cyan from Final Fantasy
Because
VI.
he's been dead the whole time.
Fucking awesome. That's why.
He could teach me how to use a sword, and I would not have to worry about any stepbrothers. The worst stepdad would be Jack from Final Fantasy X. Aw, no.
I don't know about that.
Cry.
Yeah, I think I could be...
Wah, call the ambulance, you little pussy.
Yeah. He was pretty shitty towards Titus. He could probably...
Titus was a shit.
He would probably be a lot worse to his stepkids. Barrett from FF7 would probably make a good stepdad.
I only feed you
Barrett-
because I want
Barrett's
to pork
never
your
there.
mom.
No one would fuck with.
Yeah.
No one would fuck with me as a kid, knowing my mom was married to a guy that had a gun arm. Okay,
Yeah, but you would also not want that guy with the gun on to
Honestly,
be emotionally unstable
this is gonna be
Shoot the roof.
and shoot the roof. The
Barrett.
roof. The roof.
Barrett is never around.
The roof is under
Yeah.
fire.
Barrett takes off
Oh, that's true.
all
Yeah,
the
he's
time.
never there.
Now that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
It would be like Aaron. He's been dead the whole time, so you wouldn't really see him.
So Joe, you choose Orin. then?
Never, ever, ever, ever there. Hey. Yeah, I would choose Orin.
Gonna derail into
I think
more
he's legit.
shit songs.
I think he's fuck you. I think he's legit, man.
All right.
He's just very calm, cool. He always says the right thing. It's awesome. I don't
All right.
need him to fucking play ball with me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'll just drink with him. Right. That's what.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's what Orin does. He's got that
Alcoholic,
jug.
That's right.
He wants to throw down. He takes a nice swig.
I'd choose Galoof.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good choice.
Good old Galoof.
Yeah, Galoof's pretty cool. I would say Orin, but Orin is Joe's stepdad. I don't want any of that going on where he's both of our stepdads. It's kind of weird.
Why?
All right.
What would have to
can
happen?
Yeah.
What would have to happen for that disgusts me is why.
Wait a minute.
So if he's both of our stepdads,
Okay, so he has to be
your mother and my mother
All right.
would have to be involved in a
So-
polygamist relationship
No,
with a
that's
Final
not what
Fantasy
I'm-
character.
No, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that he married your mother.
Okay.
Your mother
Unlikely.
had to go to jail or some shit.
Okay, good, good. I like
And
this.
then they got divorced, and he got you.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Ooh, that's tough.
are you a step? I guess you still are. You're like an adopted stepson.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And then he gets hitched to my mother, and then we're both stepbrothers while also having a stepfather.
Okay.
Separate.
I guess that makes it better. The polygamy thing was
He just really likes picking up kids on the way. That's
to
like
train
his-
them. To train them. yeah.
Exactly. You know,
So that
he's got a big heart.
yeah, he does.
There you go.
Heart as big as his wine jug, right? I bet you that thing is full of.
know any single moms?
It's just rubbing alcohol is what it is, and he just drinks it because when he sprays it, it lights up, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I think he's.
No, it's like,
Like
Phoenix Downs.
12,000 proof.
Yeah, he's just like. He's just fucking.
liquidized Phoenix Downs.
He's
what
just
that is.
trashed, and he's still awesome. He shaves his armpits though, so that's a little weird. That's gonna be an odd thing. Did you guys ever think of that when you saw the cutscene where he first comes in later on in the game when the
I always thought his arm looked weird, but now I know why.
yeah, there's no hair.
Okay, yeah.
Because when he comes in when the Blitzball game gets
Like
attacked,
a smooth boy.
yeah, he like pulls his arm up, and I'm like, oh, dude, what are you doing? Like, I know you grow hair there. You got to shave it. You're just making it weird for everybody around you. But yeah, I'll go with
It's more aerodynamic. I'm a swimmer.
yeah. He swims in the sea of dead. Shoot, who was I going to go with? Fuck, I just drew a blank after talking about you guys'. Oh, it was Bosch. Yeah, I'd go with Bosch.
Captain Bosch von Ratzenberg of Dalmasca.
Yeah, I would go with Captain Bosch, just because I like him so much, and I think he'd be a good dad.
I'm Captain Bosch.
And I would go around town and do this.
I'm Captain Bosch von Ratzenberg of Dalmasca.
Listen to that. Listen to how
Son.
proud he is. How proud he is to be Bosch. Bosch's son is what I would.
He wishes he was Bosch's son.
Yeah. Can't I be one of yours? No. I think that'd be fun. Good guy. I'd get to see Princess Ash a lot.
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
but that as your mother
No.
has his ex-wife.
Ex-wife, yeah.
Oh.
Bosch's ex-wife didn't work out, so he's drinking with Orin, right? So that's how we
What
all
if you
meet
have a
up.
stepsister and she looks like Ash?
That's just getting weird now.
Yeah, it is getting weird.
Whatever, man.
It's all cool if you're not blood relatives, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
okay.
look, I didn't grow up with her being my stepsister. It was a last minute thing. I'm 17. I'm still in custody of Bosch, and there happens to be Ash too, Ash Jr. and
Ash Jr.
Ash. That was hard to say. You don't think they'd call her Ash Jr.?
You okay?
No, I don't think they did call her Ash Jr.
Well, why not? Juliet. Jesus, dude.
I have no idea why that's so fucking funny.
I smoked a lot of weed before recording this episode.
Yeah, having Nude Clan first is like bad. Although it might be really good too. It depends.
I don't know, man.
Depends on how you look at it.
Shake it up a bit.
Yeah. So,
all right, is that our last question?
It is. It is our last question.
Hey, thank you guys so much for the questions. Schweiss, I believe we do have an iTunes review.
We do. Yes, we have one review this week.
Sweet.
It is titled The Ultimate LGBT Final Fantasy Podcast.
Hey!
A 5-star review from Buster Sword on October 31st, 2016. Finally, an LG... Ah, jeez, dude.
Sorry.
A LGBT podcast revolving around the great Final Fantasy series. If you are tired of bro culture type FF shows, then this podcast show is for you. I love listening to the two hosts fight their sexual tension every week while reviewing each game in the series. A couple that plays together stays together. If you can't get enough of Kaleb and Joe's love for each other and video games, make sure you check out Nude Clan podcasts as well.
Hell yeah.
Whether you like bears, twinks, or super bears, that show has got a boy for you. Here they laugh, moan, watch movies, and challenge each other for hog status. It's not what you think, winky face. So, if you love listening to young men talking about drawing dicks, battling swords, horrible eating habits, employment statuses, and sometimes games, these podcasts are for you. Thank God for you, Buster Sword.
I laughed pretty hard when I read that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I read that one at work, and I was laughing for a little while. It's classy.
Well,
it's great.
I saw the title and I was like, "What the fuck?" Ultimate LGBT.
Oh, too much, man.
What did we say?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was assumed, I guess. I don't know.
Really good iTunes review.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for that. And guys, please follow suit, or we'll have to play the no iTunes review, and that would just be a damn shame.
All right. So our question from us to you is, of course, to add to that forum thread.
Yeah, add to the forum thread. Give us some nominees.
Final Fantasy Academy Awards.
And we'll put up a poll and then let you guys choose from that poll who wins.
Let's do it. Now, before we go, got to do some plugs, I think.
Yeah.
Got to go to youtube.com/Ultimate Final Fantasy, see all the backlog of videos. You can go to facebook.com/Ultimate Final Fantasy and talk with everybody on there. You can go to twitch.tv/Ultimate Final Fantasy, see us do the episodes live, including this episode live right now.
At this very
People
moment.
can see us on video being broadcasted
To us.
while also recording a podcast.
Yeah,
No
it's
pretty
crazy.
awesome. And you can tweet me at Joseph DeGaulier.
Me at Obsidian Bar.
Me at UFF Podcast.
I don't think anybody... of course, I say no one can tell what Obsidian Ba is, but also no one can tell how to spell Joseph DeGaulier.
Yeah.
So I was about to say something about your thing. I'm like,
You
no
know,
one can-
I have more followers
I used
than
to
you,
say
so
you
apparently
have
they can
two
spell that.
more followers than I do, by the way. I caught up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't
have more.
You guys are such bickering.
Yeah, but I don't do the... Okay, this is what Caleb Craig does this thing on Twitter where he he actually plays the hashtag game.
Every
And the
once in a
hashtag
while.
game is whatever's the popular hashtag at the moment, he'll also play the game too. So I think he's getting extra followers from that.
I think he's
I
getting it
don't
from
think I
following
am.
people. I think that's what it is. A lot of people
I
follow
haven't
back.
been following people in a long time. So,
All right.
yeah.
All right, fine. Well,
Anyway.
no one knows then. No one knows. There's no reason
I
for
guess
it.
he's just more popular.
Yeah, I am.
That's
The way it should be.
maybe.
I don't know, man. The Ultima numbers just reflect a different story.
Yeah.
They get turned on by my soft, supple body.
Yeah. Well,
It is soft.
It is quite supple too.
Uh,
There are supple regions, we'll say. Supple regions. So, yeah.
why Caleb Schweiss start singing "Your Body Is a Wonderland"?
I don't think you actually want that.
Well, it's just reflects life. When Caleb Craig gets on here, we get so off topic. Look at that.
It's true.
at that.
Such a bad
What the
influence.
fuck?
I'm
Caleb.
sorry.
It's been forever since you've been on Ultima. I mean,
been a while,
besides
yeah.
just
Yeah.
me like asking you a question from 30 feet away, and
Yeah.
you'll answer it because you
Yeah.
came over early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's too bad you didn't play the games with us. You
Yeah,
could be a
man.
permanent host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, you had to be a fucking loser.
It's all right. It's probably better for us anyway, honestly. I mean, come on.
What are you saying, Schweiss?
Yeah, I'm
Look at it.
obviously
Say
more
that to his
popular
face.
than Joe.
Yeah, apparently he is. That is actually pissing me off. Please follow me at Joseph DeGolier on Twitter if you're not already, and unfollow Caleb Craig. That would be great.
Wow.
What else we got? Oh, yeah, we got a fucking phone line. Wow.
Yeah, 385-204-3921. We did have a message this week, but I didn't open it up because we went so off topic.
Yes.
So
The Final Fantasy XI stories, please keep
Yes.
bringing those in.
that is what it
And,
was, actually, so we wouldn't have listened to it
okay.
anyway.
Yeah, UltimaFinalFantasy.com. Join the forums. Support us on Patreon. By the way, if you're fans of the Godzilla podcast, we haven't been able to announce it in the episode yet, but Godzilla podcast has just opened up at Patreon. There's no supporters yet. It is kind of a small show, so hopefully we get a couple. But if you would like to support the Godzilla podcast or this podcast, they're both on Patreon.
Yeah, and then also the Amazon link. It's an easy way to support the show very passively if you use our link on our page, ultimafinalfantasy.com. Do all your shopping, and then order it, and I guess just pay for it, and then we get a small kickback from Amazon. So that's been really helpful
because
lately.
Amazon thinks that because we have a link, you'll buy more stuff.
Yes. Now, it's weird because, you can buy anything, and it seems weird to me that Amazon would be okay with that, but I guess I kind of get
I
it.
fucking love it. It's the best program ever. Amazon should keep doing it.
Yeah, buy a couple of those like gold 4K TVs.
Yeah,
that are,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
$50,000 or whatever.
Go for it. The ones with the amazing Amazon reviews.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
ones.
So yeah, please consider doing that during these holiday seasons, because I know a lot of people use Amazon, and it does give us a small kickback, and we use that to fund the shows and fund our trip to New York in a little while. I think we have enough to finally buy the tickets for the plane. So that's
We have
the
enough
biggest.
to buy me and you plane tickets.
Yeah, you and I, yeah. And then we have just a little bit more for the hotel costs, and then we're completely covered, and we can do our thing out there, which we
can
also
we talk about that?
Yes, we can mention it. No details.
They said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
you
said
talked to
mention
them
it, yeah.
about what we're allowed to say?
Yeah, I did. So at the KupoCon event, which is something we are very supportive of, and we hope you guys get the chance to go out and experience this. It's a fan festival for all of Final Fantasy, and Joe and I have been hoping for this day for a long time. I mean, when we went to the Final Fantasy XIV Fest, I was just thinking, like, fuck, there's so many 14 fans here, and a lot of them haven't played any other game, and like we don't even belong here. Like we're on Final Fantasy V right now. How many of these people have even played the first 5? Not a ton at the 14 Fest, right? It kind of felt like we were outcasts. But this will be something completely different, and we are going to do a talk or panel at this event. Joe and I will partake, and we will be there for you guys.
We will.
So look forward to that. We can't share any specifics about what we're going to be doing, which of course is already fleshed out in a well-developed plan.
Of course.
Joe and I, years ago we planned this, right?
Years ago?
Yeah. Come on, it's the obvious fate of the show. So look forward to that, and if there are still tickets available. Last time I checked, it's kupocon.com. Make sure you're looking at the one in Newark. Unless, of course, you're in the UK, then you can go to that one.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yes, Newark, New Jersey, and pick up your tickets. It's also the same day as, is it the same day as
No, it's the
Worlds?
day after Distant
Day
Worlds.
after. So if you guys want to pick up tickets to that, I'm not sure if there's anything left for Distant Worlds, but it is right across the street from Distant Worlds, so pretty awesome. Look forward to that.
We'll be going to Distant Worlds as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a sweet weekend. Hopefully we don't die on the plane.
How many times have you been on a plane? Twice?
Not very. I don't know if I
You
ever...
get all panicky whenever we talk about the plane.
I'm not panicked.
Twice for me. It's freaky as shit.
Look, I'm not panicking. I'm just saying.
I've been on plane rides.
I'm just
quite a
saying,
bit,
if
I guess,
anything
in
goes
comparison.
wrong, we're dead.
I don't like the takeoff or the landing.
dead.
Oh, that's my favorite part. That part feels like a roller coaster.
Yeah, that is the fun part.
Fuck yeah, we're liftoff, and then it's boring.
I haven't been on one
feels
since I was
like
a
a
child.
20-minute elevator ride going down, and then you get that weird feeling in your stomach.
I like that on the
that's the
elevator,
good
though.
feeling.
Yeah,
No.
I enjoy
weird.
that
Well,
weird,
not on an elevator, but on the plane and on like a ride.
where your guts are like kind of floating above where they normally rest. Yeah, that's great.
I dig that shit.
I am looking forward to it, though, and yeah, so please join us for that if you guys can, if you have the budget for it, or if you're in the region, especially then, because we'd love to meet up with as many of you as possible and really look forward to this event. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode, Schweiss. We will see you guys next week.
Enjoy the world of Final Fantasy grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Kaleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.